Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Good afternoon on the National News this hour from Nnpcl Television. First day headlines. Federal government, states, others gets 906.955 billion naira FAAC disbursement for November. FG slashes wage by 100 billion naira, Labour kicks. Senate threatens to sack Nnpcl GMD over Moribund Refineries. Senate bans importation of all materials manufactured in Nigeria. Altad's greatest threat to Nigeria's economy, Abbas. On sports, Rufai admits Super Eagles goalkeeper crisis, backs Uzor, Okoye, others. I am Moribund Lawal. The news in detail. The Federation Account Allocation Committee has announced the allocation of 906.955 billion naira in Federation account revenue to the federal government, state and local government areas. This disbursement outlined in a communique from the FAAC's November 2023 meeting included 305.070 billion naira in distributable statutory revenue, 323.446 billion naira in distributable value-added tax revenue, 15.552 billion naira in electronic money transfer levy revenue, 202.887 billion naira in exchange difference revenue, and an augmentation of 60,000 billion. Director of Information in the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, Bawa Makwa, stated that the total revenue for October 2023 was over 1 billion naira. Deductions of the cost of collection amounted to 53.483 billion naira, with 386.081 billion naira allocated for transfers, interventions, and refunds. Gross statutory revenue for October 2023 stood at 660.090 billion naira, showing a decrease from the over 1 billion naira received in September 2023 by 354.863 billion naira. Meanwhile, the gross revenue from VAT rose to 347.343 billion naira, up by 43.793 billion naira compared to September 2023. Labor unions on Wednesday lambasted the federal government for slashing the supplementary budgetary allocation for wage award to federal civil servants by 100 billion naira, warning that this was not the agreement they had with the government. Data obtained from the newly revised 2023 supplementary budget indicated that the government swapped to controversial 5 billion naira presidential yacht vote for Navy badges, increased the budget for defense from 476.54 billion naira to 546.21 billion naira, and earmarked 20 billion naira as capital supplementation for the National Intelligence Agency. Information reported that the recently approved 2.1 trillion naira 2023 supplementary budget was met with controversy following the discovery of seemingly extravagant items, forcing an amendment by the National Assembly. In the proposed document, the 4-month wage award was to cost the federal government around 210 billion naira. However, the approved and newly revised document showed that it would now cost the federal government about 110 billion naira. Also in the revised budget, the Ministry of Defense budget rose from 476.54 billion naira to 546.21 billion naira, indicating an additional allocation of 69.67 billion naira. Under the ministry, the Nigerian Navy, which was earlier caught up in the controversial 5.095 billion naira for the purchase of a presidential yacht, got an additional 25 billion naira to its total allocation. Its total allocation rose from 62.8 billion naira in the proposed supplementary budget to 87.8 billion naira in the approved documents. The Senate asked the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited and its subsidiaries to submit relevant documents relating to the turnaround maintenance project of the Nigerian refineries. The Senate noted that from 2010 to date, over 12 trillion naira has been spent on TAM. The Senate also said that it had records over $592 million Also 4.8 million euros, also for 3.4 million pounds spent between 2010 to date on TAM, yet none of the refineries was working. The Senate ad hoc committee investigating the various turnaround maintenance projects of the Nigerian refineries gave the directive during an interactive session with Nnpcl management and other executives of the oil sector. Some of the heads of the affected agencies invited could not attend and sent representatives to the Senate investigating hearing. The chairman of the ad hoc committee, Senator Issa Jibrin, Kogi East, noted that so much had been aired on the turnaround and so much had been spent on operational materials on the refineries that were not working. He said that they want to know the solutions to all the leakages, as there are a lot of them. The lawmaker said, we will ask for reform and dismissal of all chief executives involved in the turnaround maintenance. Jibrin said that for weeks they had been asking for documents which had not been given by the oil companies, a development that created suspicion. The Senate has asked the federal government to ban the importation of all materials manufactured in Nigeria and custom tariffs amended accordingly. The Senate also called on the federal government to ensure that all tax waivers not directly linked to non-governmental, non-profit organizations should not be granted. It recommended further that tax waivers from 2015 to date should be investigated by the relevant committees of the Senate. The Apex Legislative Assembly passed these resolutions while considering the report of the Senate's Joint Committee on Finance, Appropriations, National Planning, Local and Foreign Debt on the 2024-2026 Medium-Term Expenditure Framework and Fiscal Strategy paper. The Senate also ordered an investigation into all tax waivers from 2015 till date and directed that all waivers not directly linked to non-governmental, non-profit organizations should not be granted. The Senate said that before the waiver could be approved, certain conditions must be attached, adding that some people had been benefiting from the waivers years. Addressing newsmen late Wednesday evening, the chairman of the Joint Senate Committees on Finance, Appropriations, National Planning, and Foreign Debt, Senator Sani Musa, lamented that so much revenue had been lost to the waivers. Moving on to the next story. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, on Wednesday disclosed that oil theft and other oil-related criminalities remain the greatest economic sabotage that has left the country with dwindling revenue. He stated these while inaugurating a special ad hoc committee on oil theft and to investigate the growing spate of pipeline vandalization, illegal petroleum bunkering, and thefts. The Speaker expressed the resolve of the 10th House to tackle one of the largest threats to Nigeria's economy. Speaker Abbas decried that Nigeria loses over 300,000 barrels of crude oil per day due to theft, vandalism, and other criminal activities. The Speaker also said the nation was reported to have incurred losses of oil revenues estimated at around 1.29 trillion naira annually due to the industrial scale thefts. He stated that the committee's primary objective was to determine the proximate and remote causes of oil theft and recommend remedial measures to the House. And to the next story. The Lagos State Coroner's Court at Ita Elewa Ikorodu, presided over by Magistrate Aditayo Shotobi, has been informed that the most crucial aspect of the autopsy to determine the cause of death of late music star Ileriolu Aloba, better known as Mohbad, is being conducted in the United States of America. Addressing the court, counsel to the Lagos State government, Mr. O. Akinde, hinted to the coroner that the autopsy on the external body of the deceased had been completed. According to him, the toxicology test, which has to do with the internal body, is being done in the US. The revelation came sequel to the insistence of the counsels to the father of the deceased, David Fadimu, that of the TNK Music Worldwide, David Nowola, representative of the Nigerian Bar Association, Ikorodu, OSA, Aaron Molaro, and Jennifer Nina. In responding to Magistrate Shotobi's query as to why the toxicology was taken abroad when there are toxicology laboratories in Nigeria, Akinde informed the coroner that the state government decided to carry out the examination in the US because of the nature of various substances alleged to have either been injected or taken by the deceased and need to prevent controversy over the autopsy written when finally represented. The lawyer, who posited that it was also because the death of the deceased had become a worldwide issue, added that there was no point in inviting Professor Shoyemi, the pathologist in Lagos, to present an incomplete report. earlier in the course of proceeding, while being led in evidence by counsel to the family of the deceased, Taiwo Olawale, Mohbad's younger brother, Adura Aloba, who adopted all he had stated in his deposition as his evidence in the matter, revealed that on June 25, 2023, they had gone for a show at Allocation Beach and Sam Larry and his gang came to the venue and beat him up with the deceased. Same time, Sam Larry threatened at the venue that anywhere he saw the deceased, he would kill him and his friends, one after the other. Before the show started, he had been having issues with Prime Boy from home, and after the show, they started the issue, which resulted to a fight, and the deceased hit his hand against the glass. The representative of the father, Aromolaro, gives details.
Fadili, the reason why I'm granting this press interview is with respect to one Prime Boy. Now, the proceedings of today, since we commenced this proceeding, there has been this allegation that there was a fight between Mohbad and Prime Boy. And it will be in tandem with justice if Prime Boy is invited to come and tell his own side of the story. So we appeal to the magistrate, the presiding magistrate, to issue a witness summons inviting Prime Boys to come and give evidence. I did that on his behalf. It will not be neater to proceed with the evidence of the pathologist without hearing from Prime Boy. So wherever Prime Boy is, please let him contact me, because I made that application on his behalf. There has been evidence by the wife that he had a fight with Mohbad on September 10. The younger brother, Adura, also confirmed that today. And the DJ also confirmed that. So about 3 personalities mentioned his name in respect to the inquisition going on at the court. So please, I have made that application on behalf of Prime Boy. I don't know him, but I listened to his interview where he said he never had a fight with Mohbad. I listened to his interview that he granted with TVC. It was that interview that prompted this application. So wherever Prime Boy is, himself, his lawyer, let them contact me. I gave an undertaking that he will come. Let him come and tell us what he knows about the death of Mohbad. Thank you very much. Any other question?
Your name is?
My name is David Fadile. David Fadile.
The International Committee of the Red Cross Nigeria on Wednesday said Nigeria has a missing caseload of over 25,000 people registered with the Red Cross in the last 10 years. Speaking with correspondent, the Public Relations Officer, ICRC Nigeria, Aliyu Dawobe, noted that the 25,000 missing people were those whose relatives came and requested for the Red Cross to register their cases. Dawobe said the ICRC Nigeria started family unification in 2013 in Nigeria alongside the Red Cross Society. The 25,000 missing persons is only a fraction of people who are aware that ICRC is helping to reunite separated missing family members. They registered their cases and there are over 25,000 cases of such. However, the PRO added that though the number of missing persons in Nigeria in the last 10 years might have dropped as a result of some families reuniting without the help of the Red Cross. He stated that though this figure could drop because some people can get reunited with their families without the ICRC knowing or being informed. And lastly, on sports. It's coming from the sports angle. Former Super Eagles goalkeeper Peter Rufai has called for support for the likes of Francis Uzoho and Maduka Okoye. The 60-year-old, however, acknowledged concerns about the goalkeeping situation in the Super Eagles. Uzoho has failed to impress in recent outings for the 3-time African champions. The Nnpcl goalkeeper was widely criticized after he was beaten by Walter Musona's stunning long-range free kick in Nigeria's 1-1 draw with Zimbabwe last Sunday. Fellow keeper Maduka Okoye came also under the spotlight after Nigeria's quarter-final exit from the 2021 Nations Cup 1-0 defeat by Tunisia. Rufai raised concerns about the goalkeeping position while calling for a collective response from their entire team. Yes, we have a goalkeeping problem, but it's not that we don't have quality goalkeepers, Rufai said. They need to be courageous. They must be strong and not let the criticism demoralize them. The entire team should rise up to the occasion. With our sports story, we've come to the end of today's national news. Before we go, some headlines. Federal government, states, others gets 906.955 billion naira FAAC disbursement for November. FG slashes wage by 100 billion naira. Labor kicks. Senate threatens to sack Nnpcl GMD over Moribund Refineries. Senate bans importation of all materials manufactured in Nigeria. We also brought to you all thefts, greatest threat to Nigeria's economy. Speaker Abbas. Lastly, on sport, Rufai admits Super Eagles goalkeeper crisis, backs Uzoo, Okoye, and others. For updates of our broadcast on YouTube, our handle is Babagede Imo Television. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell. Select option all to access all of our podcasts. On Facebook, Bagede Imo with Alawiye Adebayo. Please like and follow the page. For other placement of goods and services, coverage of events and function, please dial the phone number streaming on your screen. Thank you for watching. I am Moribund Rabila Lawal. Good afternoon.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.